us technical support with any help that we can offer. Our TechTime is sponsored by Enertech University and Enertech Energy and Technology. You can find all these tech times and training webinars on our Enertech University YouTube channel. So these are being recorded and will be available for looking at a later time. So one thing about new equipment that we have put out, the WV has been introduced to you all. And, you know, we've noticed a little bit of issues in tech support with these units, and it stems mostly from water and air. We noticed that there's a lot of air in the system that people aren't getting out, and it's creating some trouble calls. The IOM has been updated with some new piping installation drawings, and encourage you to take a look at the newest, latest version of this on the websites. And we're also going to be adding some things that you're going to be seeing here in there to help determine the size of the pipe and the type of the pipe like you like to use. So this will be in a technical bulletin that's available for downloading for you today on the control panel. And if not, it'll be sent an email to you as well if you like. One addition that we're seeing to be used, especially on the WV, is TACO's Hydro-Sep hydraulic separator. Very interesting piece of equipment that's been out around a long time, but it's helped us to eliminate some more air getting back to the unit, so it's easier to purge the heat pump itself and then purge the rest of the system very easily. And this can also replace a buffer tank in some of the applications, and the installation manuals will talk a lot more about that, so please follow the IOM. It also makes it easier. We're using a couple of pumps now instead of one, so you can have a little bit smaller pumps to flow through the heat pump and flow through the rest of the system, the radiant zones, the forced air zones, etc. You'll find that this is going to be a good add-on item and eliminate a lot of air problems that we have been seeing. What's important about all our hydronic stuff that we're talking about today, that Enertech will be unveiling really soon here their new air-to-water heat pump. And this is a self-contained outdoor unit that we pipe the water from that into the house or home or business. This will provide complete hydronic heating, hydronic cooling, and will do domestic hot water. And it's rated for good operation down to like -13, -12 degrees in that area. So following the IOM that we're working on is very important to make sure that we get it properly done. Now, this will have some extensive training coming out for release, and that'll be all available on webinars. So stay tuned. It's coming very soon to dealers near you, and it's going to be a really neat piece of equipment and added to the repertoire of what we have available for our customers. Now, I wanted to show you some jobs that I have seen. This is actually a geothermal heat pump down in a crawl space. And if you take a look at this, I want to explain why is proper piping, important. One, longevity of the heat pump, its components. None of us like warranty calls. And I also look at the option of resale value. So if you ever wanted to sell your home and a customer looks at this, would that deter some of the people away from seeing something like this? I know it would me. And so do your due diligence, make things look nice so they work good as well as showing well. This particular job on the next slide had a water heater, as you see, as a buffer tank. It was originally installed sideways at this job location, and it didn't work very good. So the contractor made him stand it up, and he made the homeowner cut a hole in his floor in a closet so that thing could stick up through the floor. So I've seen some pretty wicked installations in my lifetime, and thought I'd share a couple with you. Here's another one where we talk about piping with PVC pipe. Now, PVC pipe isn't always recommended by us. We find it's acceptable for non-pressurized flow centers, but if you use a pressurized one, you can have more tendencies to leak due to expansion, contraction, and not always the best thing to use. And, you know, this could have been cleaned up and made to look a lot nicer than it actually is, but that's the installing contractor had done. If you're using PVC, look at Schedule 80. The heavier, thicker gray stuff is a little bit better. And I have found through some specialty wholesalers that they have special glue for PVC piping that works better with antifreezes and methanols and things like that. And they always recommend to use a new can. Make sure that it's a fresh can if you're going to use glue for your piping in PVC. Now, here's another job that I had seen in my lifetime. Some of you guys may have seen this one before, but PEX pipe. Okay, so it's another product that can be used for piping our systems, but it can be done maybe in a little bit more efficient and more neater looking scenario than this one was. So there are some wicked installers out there that may not follow proper practices of how to do things. And so I encourage everybody to make sure you do your due diligence, make them look nice, and make them perform well so that we have a very long lasting system. Notice again, the buffer tanks on this one here are mounted horizontally instead of vertical. And I was called to this job to look at it, and I basically didn't want nothing to do with it because the guy didn't want to restart it, start it all over. So I walked away from it. And so you can kind of see it's pretty, I'd be ashamed to have people see what this looks like. So again, do proper design and make things look nice. Thought I'd share this picture of a pond loop system that I ran into in my career. Obviously, the contractor didn't do a very good job of tying all his pipes together. And the homeowner told me, he said, well, in the springtime, sun would pop up and he'd go out there with a boat and just tie a cement block on with a piece of rope and then it'd sink it back down. Well, I'm thinking there was a pretty big air issue with this here, and we eventually removed all of it and replaced it with a new system. So proper piping and design, not only in the loop fields, but inside is very important. And we'll get to some of the reasons here pretty quick. But we have produced a Enertech technical bulletin TB20-R.007. I know it may be hard to read, but this is downloadable, and I urge that you download it and read this and keep this. Give this to your installers. There's some really good information in here. And this will be coming out in next month's in the Loop magazine also. So if you don't get it today, you'll see it in next month's program. But we start talking in here about some proper pump mounting, the positioning of the electrical box or the motor on the units to make sure it's in the right spot so we don't have trapping air. And then this thing will also talk about flow rates and pipe sizing, which I'll show you in the chart upcoming. Very important, home run style piping is more preferred. You'll find that being able to purge everything that's in the mechanical room, all the in and outs for the different zones, the zone valves, makes it a lot easier and makes it a nice, cleaner looking installation. So you'll find that this will be really helpful for all you employees. But we have a chart here showing the different water-to-water units we have, some MPH to MCH air handlers and A coils, multi-aqua fan coils, and some radiant floor. And what we're giving you is the minimum GPM requirements for this pieces of equipment. So now this can help you determine the size of the pipe that you need feeding it. And I think you'll find this next slide is very interesting. So this is basically showing you some design flow capabilities or capacities of the different products out there. What I think is really interesting, if you look at 1-inch copper, is equivalent to 1.25 PEX. And we find a lot of people say, well, 1-inch copper is the same as 1-inch PEX. Well, if you look at the flow rate numbers, you will see that there's a huge difference in it. So when using PEX, it's pretty much required or recommended to upsize one. Please note that these tables are based on like a 25-foot one-way length with 4 elbows. So using more pipe, more elbows may change the pipe sizing and require you to do a larger volume of pipe. The table number 3 to the right of that actually shows you how much gallons per foot of fluid in each individual pipe. So that's there to help you determine how much fluid is in your system so you can do the percentage of antifreeze requirement for that. So it's kind of interesting to see the difference with PEX pipe or HDPE or copper, the 2 different types and how much volume they have. So this technical bulletin is going to be really handy for designing and for even for installers looking at to make sure they're doing things in the right size. So we also in the bulletin there's a kind of a diagram that we have here, and this happens to be from a WV, but there's very good explanations in the notes explaining to what number 3 is, number 1, number 2, and this also is showing the hydraulic separator the way it is piped. Very much urge you all to follow what this is, your installation manual, how the piping is done. Variations can be done some, but I want you to realize there's a reason why it's piped this way. And we also show on here the option for connecting an alternative source of heat, auxiliary boiler or something like that too is included in our diagrams. So if you follow our technical bulletins, technical diagrams and charts, you help you to get a more successful installation of your products. And then in the end, we hope that your projects can look more something like this with the neatness of the plumbing and the piping, and more respectable for the people to see these, and homeowners to be more satisfied with what their project looks like. So in the end, our goal is for all you guys to do a little better job, make things look nice and neat, and have greater success. We all know that warranty calls is no way, nobody wins on what we get paid and the time it takes to do some of these. So proper installation will make it less chance of having problems down the road. Again, technical service guys here. There's our tech line phone number, 618-664-5860. Give us a call if we can help you out with anything. And if you want us to email you a technical bulletin, we can do that also as well. So again, I would like to thank you for attending. Make sure and look at our Enertech University page and find all these technical bulletins and trainings and all that stuff on there for future use. And please share these with your technicians and installers, and hope you all have a successful year. Keep chugging along. Be safe out there, and thanks again for coming today.